Tonight's special guest is Franchelle Ofsoské-Wyber. Franchelle is the founder of First Light Flower Essences, who produce a range of health remedies made from the unique native flora of New Zealand. Franchelle describes herself as a medicine woman, is internationally recognised as a master shaman, and has produced a book called The Sacred Plant Medicine of Aotearoa. We welcome Franchelle Ofsoské-Wyber as our special guest on The Beat Goes On. Franchelle Ofsoské-Wyber, welcome to The Beat Goes On.
Thank you very much, Gerard.
Look, we've had so many complaints about the lack of glamour on this program that we gave you a phone call.
I'll do my best to deliver.
Not only glamorous, but of course you're a medicine woman.
Yes, I
That's
am.
very interesting, isn't it? What's the difference between a medicine woman and a doctor?
Definition of a medicine woman is a traditional spiritual healer. So the term medicine woman generally is associated with Native American tradition, and of course on my father's side, Native American. So I do wear that title with pride. I come from a long line of medicine men and women on my mother and my father's side.
And which nation, which tribe was it? The
Cherokee.
Cherokee, wow. And the other side was?
Russian on my mother's
Russian.
side.
Wow, there's a great combination, isn't it?
It is a good combination.
Today, the production of a Cherokee and a Russian. So how did you end up in New Zealand? What's the story there?
Well, I was born in New Zealand. I was born in New Zealand. And from a very, very early age, I discovered in the tradition of my family that I had the ability to communicate with plants. I could see the spirit world, see the spirit realm. I was clairvoyant, which means to be able to see the other realm beyond the physical. Clairaudient, which means to be able to hear what's really going on.
Wow.
And various other inherited gifts and abilities. So I was 7 when I had my first experience of the other realm, you might say.
And the problem is you think everybody's experiencing what you're experiencing.
Absolutely.
But it's not the case. And then, so
That's
when did you
right.
find out one day what's happening to you is not happening to everybody else?
When I was, I heard somebody say something to me, and I answered them, and they looked at me very, very strangely and beetled away very, very quickly. And I realised then that they hadn't said it out loud. I had read their mind. So now, Gerard, what I do is I make sure I watch people's mouths before I answer them.
And is it, does it happen all the time, or is it just spasmodic? It comes and...
No, it's a constant reality in my life. That realm is always happening. So the third dimension, what we can see and touch and feel, but the fourth dimension, the world of vibration, or what I call the other realm.
Sometimes do you wish, gosh, I wish I didn't have this, because it could cause trouble, it could cause you to see things that you don't want to see?
No, I've seen many things that probably most people wouldn't be able to cope with in terms of precog, like seeing future events unfold. But there isn't a day in my life that I would wish that I would be without the gifts that I have, because what it's meant is that my whole life has been one of following spirit direction, and to me there is nothing more fulfilling than doing what you're put here to do.
Everyone is absolutely baffled by the fact you've got the atheists of the world that say that this is it, you're born, you die, and you pay your taxes and it ends. But can you categorically say that no, there is a spirit world and we live on forever?
We are multi-dimensional, multifaceted beings. You know, we're not just our physical body. And you asked me a question a little while ago, you know, what does a medicine woman do, for instance? Well, if we look at the traditional, if we look at doctors who have a role to play in terms of, particularly with the physical body, but the inner realm or the inner person is sort of where somebody like me comes in. So Yes, I can categorically state, in my experience, we are not just a physical body. We are much, much, much more than that.
As you mentioned before, doctors, they treat the symptom, but you're saying, look, let's look at what could cause this symptom to arise in a person. That's what you're looking at.
Yes.
So now, up until the 16th century, and doctors gained power, a huge tradition of shaman, medicine people, they went to nature, they looked at plants, and there was some wonderful history. A lot of it's lost, isn't it? And you were helping to bring some of that back.
Yes, that's correct. If you look through all of the old ancient cultures, all the indigenous cultures, they all say the same thing, that nature is our greatest teacher, and look to nature first, and understanding that we can't just treat physical. Of course, we must look at the physical, but the answer really goes to the inner, the spirit of the person. If the spirit is sick, then that's going to translate to physical issues.
What can cause the spirit to be sick?
Many things. Shock, trauma, loss of a loved one. For instance, in my work with people, one of the most common things that I would experience would somebody may have a physical symptom, the onset of a physical symptom. And the first thing I'll ask them, Gerard, is, how long have you had this? When did it start? And inevitably they will say, actually, funny you asked me that. It happened about the time my mother died, or my husband left me, or I lost my child. It happened around that time. So we see this incredible connection with the body, mind and spirit.
When a person is sitting in front of you, say a woman that's lost her mother, and the symptoms started, what are you seeing? Did they have an aura, or they?
Yes.
Is it painful? Is it?
The whole area that I was talking about before, the fourth dimension, or the world of vibration, which of course scientists are now just beginning to realise exists to get it.
Yeah. Only through particle physics are they beginning to understand.
That's right. But once again, those old ancient wisdom traditions knew these things, that they were a reality, and they are a reality. So yes, visible in somebody's energy field or their aura, everything has a pattern. Everything is vibration, and everything has a pattern. And any distortion in that pattern will translate to physical illness eventually. It's not just a case of if, it is a case of when. So I can see in the person's energy field, don't worry, I'm not picking up anything there, Jared, you're good. I can see in their energy field what is likely to occur in the physical before it hits the physical. You'll see it there first.
Really?
Yes, you'll see it there. If you can get it before it goes through to the physical, it's much easier to address. Once it goes through to the physical body and it's a physical condition, it's harder to address because it's hit the physical body, three-dimensional reality. We can touch it and it's solid.
Well, the next thing you've got to do is you say, I can see this. You can give them a remedy, can't you? And
yes,
that's where you work. So
that's correct.
How do you match up the diagnosis with the plant that you'll take this remedy from?
There is an incredible intelligence in nature, and every plant has its particular healing gift. Just as we are individual and unique, every plant has its own unique healing abilities, and particularly in the metaphysical realm. So, for instance, let's look at, say, somebody's experienced betrayal, like in love, betrayal.
Right.
And once again, we'll see other persons that might say, oh, my heart feels broken. We can't see anything, can we? But we all know what that feels like. The heart is broken. Now, if that's left unaddressed, then eventually that will move through to issues with the heart, with the physical heart. So in that type of instance, I would recommend our flower remedy, flower essence, which is silver fern. And its job is to clear, you might say, the trauma, to clear that trauma and to heal that metaphysical component of what's bothering.
And this all went into this wonderful book?
Yes, the Sacred Plant Medicine of Aotearoa has 84 native plants.
84?
84 native plants, and they're holistic healing correspondences.
This was a work of love, wasn't it? A huge, I mean, look how thick it is. I mean, it's packed with information, isn't it? Who's going to benefit by reading this book?
Anyone who wants to take responsibility for their own holistic well-being as part of their healing picture. Yeah. Anyone who wants to take to assist their friends or family. And I would hope the children of those people as a way forward of taking responsibility and thinking of holistic health, the whole person.
Of course, we've got this huge, big medical profession, and you can be accused of being on the fringe, the medical, but it's growing, isn't it? The field that you're in is getting more and more adherence, yes. Isn't it?
They say,
why is the growth? Why are people loving this holistic approach now?
Well, sometimes this realm is called alternative. I don't think of it as alternative. I think of it as allied. I don't see it as an alternative to the medical profession.
Allied, yeah.
Allied. Yeah. We're allies because the medical profession has a very important role to play. So does holistic health. So they're our allies as opposed to an alternative option. We can work together.
Look, this is fascinating. We're running out of time. So what I want to... Do you talk to people? People can give you a call and have a holistic...
Yes, I've got websites. One
right,
is...
Let's get those websites down because I know there's thousands of people who would love to have a chat with you. Great. Now, we're a very generous show. We give other people's books away on this show. Could we give 3 of these books away?
You can. 3 baskets of knowledge,
3 baskets of knowledge. Wonderful. So we need a question. So what's a very, very, very intelligent question that we ask our viewers, and they qualify when they send in their email. We need a question, and what's this flower on the, what do you see what's this flower on the cover?
This flower is Kakabeak, K-A-K-A-B-E-A-K.
B-E-A-K, Kakabeak.
So Kakabeak is the flower remedy that we work with for closure or completion. So sometimes we may have the end of a cycle in our life and we need to close the door on that. And that's a very powerful thing to do. A lot of people move on, but they haven't closed the door.
How many people need to close?
Closing the door and having completion at an energetic level. We can do it physically, but metaphysically is often very, very difficult for people. And what happens is they leave part of themselves behind. Great. And they go into the future and then into their new life, but they're not fully present.
Franchelle, thank you very much. It's been fascinating talking to you.
It's been lovely to be here with you.
See you again.
Yeah.